Hi everybody, so this is a very unscripted, impromptu video. We haven't done a lot of these lately, so we want to get back in the hang of it. David Lapp from Pine Box Entertainment.
Richard Carter, current lead design for Doomtown.
Max from Halifax, Deputy UA on the Discord.
And also former world champion and our current PAX Unplugged Sheriff Starter Deck event, Sheriff. So we wanted to bring you Whispers of War. So we got the sample while we were here at PAX and figured it'd be fun to come here to show you guys what's in it. We're at Queen and Rook Cafe in Philadelphia, who were doing their post-PAX Unplugged event, and it is allowing us to do this. So if you're ever in the area or at PAX, make sure to check them out.
We endorse them.
Yes, we are endorsing them. So, first off, the box cover has this awesome art from Deadlands. I believe it was in the Horror Headstone adventure piece. So, following tradition, you get your 4 decks. We did up the ante this time. You're getting 60 times 4 instead of 56. Why did we do that? Because the manufacturer let us, and also...
Because I could not cut more cards.
Yes. And we wanted to make sure you got the updated Fort 51. So if you guys have Too Tough to Die, Out for Blood, this is your updated version that literally changes one sentence. It just makes it so that the bounty goes to equal or less than for your target on the react. Included is the insert, which is going to have another rules update clarification just for the fact that there is another dual faction character. This time it's going to be a law dog entrepreneur mad scientist. We're going to have pre-orders up January 1st. If you or your retailer pre-orders directly from us, you will get a full bleed promotional card for that character. And then we're going into the raid scenario, which is another solo scenario. Zenarchist on our Discord, Daniel Lunsby, is going to charge of solo scenarios now and has included one for this set. And then on the back, we've got the sample decks for the Outlaws and the Anarchists to use in that, and a variation along with our resources and the credit sheet. So from here on out, I am going to defer to Carter and Max to review some highlights in the set as runners.
All right, now, we did this kind of, again, this was impromptu, so Max has got to see a solid 2/3 of the set. And Max, any screaming highlights that you would say, hey, share, people need to know that this is on the horizon.
People need to know, huh? Well, I think there's one card in here that people need to know, and I would say it's this one right here. So we have Piano Geist. Take a look at that stat line. Drink it in. It's some good value. There's some good bullets, some good influence. Very reasonable cost. And then we have the fun stuff. We're looking at an abomination. We're looking at someone who you may recall back, for those of you who've been playing the game a while, you may recall that there was a cycle of 108 dudes that did things at your opponent's home. It was to encourage interaction, and particularly in a space that doesn't usually see a lot of two-player play, your opponent's home. Now, with some new design ethos and some new design philosophy, we've come back with something that hopefully is going to be, it's going to be quite playable here in terms of its cost, even if you're not taking it into your opponent's home. But it's also a great way to force an opponent who doesn't really want to come out to fight to come out and fight with you. Additionally, it's you can see it comboing with some of the homes for 108. I'll leave you all to think about that.
Oh yeah, because it interacts with them having more Ghost Rock than you. The austerity mechanic is still alive and well in the anarchist madness. All right. What was? Did we going here?
I think we're going here. We have to go here.
The Grave Gunslinger is the new incarnation of the Ghostly Gun. It's everything you liked about the Ghostly Gun before. The little extra edge of having to boot, but he also can show up out of your hand, and he does not cost the premium 7 Ghost Rock the previous did.
Now, I seem to recall you may have spoiled on some of your social media something that might help you with that booting cost.
Oh, you mean the... it's on the other stack. So we have spoiled the stand together previously on Spoiled Media that you can use to unboot somebody. This Grave Gunslinger can come into play booted as a shootout action. So then you can't use this cool ability to make a card wild or be wild in your hand unless you have a cool way in your hand to unboot him and bring that online as a little surprise value. A little spicy meatball. All right. Nah, we just got one of them.
Yeah. Ooh.
We going Uncle Howard?
We're doing Uncle Howard.
We like
I like
Uncle Howard Bearclaw is bringing a solid playable king value dude to the First Peoples. 0 stud, so he really wants to be part of a backup in a shootout situation, but 2 influence. No upkeep, 5 costs, perfectly playable, perfectly startable. And if you're using out of town deeds, he'll get there and maybe even cause a little preemptive violence. No? Yes. All right. What else got that you've seen so far?
That I've seen
we
so
go
far.
with. Nah, we want to let that go for a fiction piece. We got several tie-in cards for some fiction work.
Okay.
People have seen that one. They've seen that one. We spoiled that one, so we're gonna move past some dudes
Yep.
and go back. All right.
Yeah.
So Dr. Babcock's office here is going to be a impactful 2 control point location. A little pricey, and you're only getting 2 Ghost Rock per turn, but you can cycle dudes that you're only having to discard for casualty. So whether that's Rob Wilby is only having a short stint out of play, or El Enomino is right back in action on your next play for 1, or somebody's a little more pricey, but you might be able to say tie hand ranks and have to lose a more solid piece. At least you're not waiting for them to come back around, particularly if it's a skilled dude and kind of the cornerstone of your master plan.
And I like the fact as well. You'll get something even if your opponent comes to fight you there. Win or lose the fight. That private keyword. It's kind of, I think, a linchpin for the whole card there, especially if you're Law Dogs.
Which maxes. All right. Nope. All right. Max was very excited about the Log-O-Matic, a new gadget melee weapon. Coming in at 6, passes its own difficulty. 2 cost, but you're getting 2 bullets on the deal. Does not have melee weapon uselessness. And you got a shootout action. If you're going to round 2, it's going to do a little extra body parts being cast asunder. Anything else you got? You excited about with the logo?
I think it's one of the reasons we weren't able to make it through the rest of the stack. I spent so much time rambling upon this. I'm sure all you mad scientists out there can come up with your own great ideas to put that to good and bloody use.
All right. Then the ones Max hasn't seen yet. I'm going to say we'll get a couple. I like Alone in the Dark. So we're going to give us a little hex action that's going to confuse some folks. Get a little still shot on there before I steal it back away. All right, so shootout, hex, X. Target an opposing dude. X is that dude's grit. Grit, for those that lose track, value plus bullets plus influence. So it's going to tend to be a higher number, particularly on the important dudes. But if successful, that dude does not contribute to draw hands and cannot be chosen as a casualty this round. So you could do this easily on a Rob Wilby, and then they're not using him to soak or get that extra draw. Or you could do that on a Thunder Boy and take his 3 stud out of the equation, but not cause him to die. If all dudes in the opposing posse are affected by 1 or more Alone in the Dark, the whole thing cancels. So I can't just wipe out and you don't get any card draws, any draw bonuses. But
all that for 1 Ghost Rock.
All that for 1 Ghost Rock. Whew. Then, I didn't make it. Okay. Now, for our miracle users, Chastise. Chastise here is a noon miracle. It's going to cost you 1. Difficulty 9, it's on a jack, so it's going to self-pass. A wanted dude at a nearby location gets -1 influence and -1 bullets. For those crazy people that want to mix up hexes and miracles, they do not conflict with each other on value. They pass each other, and you can run this with Blood Curse. You will not make friends with this version of the deck, but at least it's all nearby, so somebody can go deal with somebody who's getting uppity. And let's see, there's a lot of things been spoiled, but I've been really fond of My Horse Don't Like You Either. There we go. Boom. Essentially, our Weird West edition replacement for Run 'em Down. Noon, boot your dude's horse to call out a dude in that location with a lower value than the horse. You take your cavalry escort and walk into someone's house. Most dudes are lower value than a king. Call someone at home. Gets around that awkward, I really want to cause violence and I can't get there.
And that nice peaceable little guide horse that takes your booted dude from home back to town square is suddenly also a threat to start some violence in town square if your opponent decides to play it. Say hello.
There's also a cute Star Wars flavor text reference for those that saw that in the image.
Oh. And she's wanted in 12 counties. I think that's a good little. Oh, all right. I had one. I don't know what I wanted to.
One more?
Yeah, one more.
All right, let's do one more.
One more. So, unexpected allies. For those of you that like to run 10s and keep wondering when you're going to have a cheating card to play on 10 that might supplant unprepared, eating up all your 10 slots. Unexpected allies. We got a cheat and resolution. Choose a dude from your discard pile. Add the dude to your play hand. So that's a good thing for low ball, so you can get a guy back. Now, if this is a shootout, you may have that dude join your posse, pay the full cost, and your hand rank goes up by 2 as he comes a running in a gunner. So, tied hand rank, but cheating boat to cheating boat. Here comes, heck, you go with the discarded Rob Wilby to save the day. 2 hand ranks for $1.
I take a discarded ghostly guy from my last round.
And boom, they're right back in it. And you're so able to get some guys moving on your low ball if you need it, because sometimes dudes are in the discard pile and they need to be in your hand. It's still probably going to be a big ask compared to unprepared, but I got to try something.
Nothing says you can't run 3 and 1.
All right. Any final notes? You haven't seen them all yet. So
I haven't seen them all yet, so I'm looking forward to wrapping this up and getting on with that. I'm sure we'll all get to see it pretty soon. I guess in terms of the sort of plans ahead, if I understand story-wise, we're moving to Dodge City?
Dodge City's after this set. So this is our last foray into the town of Deadwood. We're going to move on to Dodge City. We're going to get some new faction homes, and we're going to get in touch with the luminaries of that spot in the Deadlands fictional universe. Maybe even we're discussing an inexperienced Wyatt Earp before his moves onto Tombstone and it steps into the halls of legend.
That's right. So we have some plans for new outfits, new Dodge City after Whispers of War for those looking ahead to the future. And then we did hint on our Discord some plans for a potential Kickstarter for multiple products that would tie into the 30th anniversary of Deadlands. And we've got the 30th anniversary of Doomtown coming up in 2028. So those following our Tombstone and Deadwood destination events, we will be doing another one of those, which we're looking forward to getting everyone together for the anniversary of the game. So thank you guys for joining in, and stay tuned to all our social media, and pre-orders will be live on January 1st.
All right, and that is David Lapp, the CEO of Pinebox Entertainment. You've got Richard Carter, our lead designer, Deputy Max Way, who is former world champion and current PAX champion.
And on camera, Laura Scott, Gen Con champion from just a few months ago.
Making me the world champion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
in case you're
we
wondering,
threw
Alone in the Dark is my favorite card. Can't wait for you guys to see the rest of the set. It is amazing. Again, pre-orders start January 1st on Pinebox website. Thanks, everyone.